What we saying, guys, Exalted here, and I am back with another Avatar Legends video. In this video we'll be going over the Guru Lahima Glazer himself, Zaheer. So as always, please like and subscribe and let's get into it. Zaheer, let's get started with the normal. So his 5A, 6 frames -3. You know, you want to do like 5A, then wait a bit, 5A. Creates quite a bit of distance, which is good. It means that you can't really be punished like that. If you do something like 5A, delayed 5A into 5B, then you're at a distance where you can do another 5B, which is good. So you can kind of set up like spacing traps like that. His 2A, 7 frames -4. Once again, it's not a low, but Zaheer doesn't have a low. But like I said, you know, same kind of thing applies. You want to create that distance. His 5C, good button. You know, it's got decent distance. Has a bit of recovery on it, but it makes up for the distance. You're not really going to punish him at this range. It is -9, so it's punishable. Like up close is very punishable, but you kind of want to space out this button. So like around here, you know what I mean? Press this button and then most likely not going to punish you. His lows, like I said before, his 2A wasn't a low because it's his 2B that's a low. 8 frames -5, so it's not punishable, but 8 frames is quite good for a 2B, right? And it's a bit deceptive. When you look at it, it goes a bit further than it looks. You know what I mean? So you can definitely catch some people unawares with this. And his 5C, sorry, his 2C, that's another low. Sliding move, moves forward, -7. You don't really want to be throwing this out there like that unless you have a feeling or like you're calling an assist. If you want to do something like that, you don't just want to be doing this randomly. You've got his 4C. This is his flash kick. I feel like this is a very good anti-air. Right, after you've done this, you can go straight into fly if you press it. Right, press flow after you've done the 4C, and you go straight into fly. So if this connects when you hit an opponent, that's kind of the party starter, right? You want to get used to trying to understand this. You know what I mean? Things like that. It's just good to do anyway, because even if they're blocking, right, you're flying, so you can just fly away. If you don't fly, it has a bit of recovery on it, okay? So it is something that's good to do, and just getting used to it. Like if it hits, you get a combo if you go into the fly. If it doesn't hit, you're flying anyway. So it's just a good thing to do, I'd say. Like I said, good anti-air. So when your opponent's jumping in, you just got that flash kick kind of thing. He's down back charging like Gao. You hit him with a flash kick for the anti-air. Now his jumping normals. JA, JB, which is quite good. It's a bit deceptive, that you don't really know how it's going to hit at certain angles. Sometimes it looks like it's going to cross up, sometimes it does. And his JC, this is the one, right? You can just sneak this into pressure. So you might just do something like, let's say a 2A, then you just hit them quickly with a JC. Right? Takes a bit of getting used to, but you just do it, you know, just do like a jump into that immediately and it will hit them. Alright, so it's 6C. This is an overhead. Okay, it's an overhead, a 14 frame overhead. Think of like Gogeta Super Saiyan 4 in Fighters. He had a mix where you can kind of go like the low, the overhead. You can kind of do something like that with this. It's not really like a 50-50 or ambiguous mix-up. It will definitely catch some people off guard if you condition them. In other instances, you can OTG off this. Right? You see in the trials that you can just like call the Ming-Hua assist after you do something like this and extend like that. So yeah, that's his 6C in a nutshell. So his 236 series, so he has the A version, the B, and the C. Different frame data, the A and the B versions. Right, so this is 12 frames -11, 16 frames -14. The 236C has a follow-up that can be delayed, very late.
Take this.
Right, this is good when conditioning your opponent. So use the A and B versions to condition your opponent that you're only going to do it once.
Now. Wind.
And they'll just end up taking their turn back. So something like this.
Now. Wind.
Right, but then use the C version.
Take this.
And you delay it, and that's how you catch them off guard. His air specials, right, it's his glider, okay? So depending on which one you do gives a different result. If you do his 2-3-6-A, he goes diagonally down, B across, and 2-3-6-C, he goes upwards, right? On block, you don't really want to be doing this move from close. I think you can get it to be a bit safe. Just depends on how far you hit it from. Right, you see -5, so if you hit it from that distance, then you are safe. Zaheer has an air burst, so if you go in the air and press B and C, you get this move. And what it allows Zaheer to do, you can see there's a gust of wind underneath his feet, and he can kind of cross up or hit the opponent. Right. Now you can combine this with his, I think it's his 6F, yes, which is the flip, and you can kind of flip over the opponent and hit them with the air burst. Now I'm sure combined with assists is going to cause for some tricky mix-ups. His 2F is the roll. This will be very good for avoiding your opponent's pressure. If they're pressing too much, you just press down and flow, and it gives you the roll. If you press back and flow, it's 4F. You get this. Once again, you can do the same thing that we did before, because this is flow cancelable. Right, you can cancel flow with this. So all you do is you press 4F into the air burst. It works the same as this. Right, Zaheer does a flip backwards, and then he can kind of just go back with the air burst. He has a run. If you combine all these things together, you just run, and then, you know, get in there. You could run, you could roll. You could run, you could go back. You could run, you could jump forwards, fly. I feel like this is Zaheer. You have to master his movement. I feel like it's a prerequisite to play the character. You won't really be getting the best out of the character if you don't try and at least get competent with his movement. So I definitely say you need to practice these things. Let's get into the good stuff. Let's start with the assist. So we'll start with plea. Zaheer calls plea, so that's 2-1-4-B. As he does her combustion beam. Now, if we look at the uses from just the ground version only, you might want to run behind when you call plea to get in. You might want to roll, or you use the flip. There are many different things you could do. You could jump in the air, fly, unfly. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying about the fact that you have to try and master Zaheer's movement. His movement in conjunction with the assist will make him deadly. You know what I mean? So maybe something like this. You get where I'm coming at? Like, I feel like this is how we need to approach the character. We master the assist calls, we master the movement, and it can take the character to another level. When calling his assists in general, the normal call on the ground will give you this for plea. If we jump in the air quite high and call plea, she does this. Now at certain ranges, this will whiff. You can see, so how we can circumvent that is if we tiger knee the input. We still get the air version, but it's at an angle where it's harder to hit. Right, sorry, harder to whiff. If we're just jumping quite high in the air and we call plea, you can see it whiffs. But if we're around that same place and we tiger knee the input, then plea teleports at a certain place where it's going to hit. Now I haven't really gone too deep into his neutral yet, but I feel like for plea, just try and use plea to control the neutral. Find your way in. You know what I mean? Trick your opponent. Maybe one time you dash in, the other time you roll, the next time you jump. Just use plea to try and condition your opponent. An EX move. Right, it hits 3 times. You saw it whiff there. So if you do the tag knee version of the move, you know what I mean? I feel like this is the ultimate form of neutral control that Zaheer has. right? I'm sure there are going to be opportunities for you to grab during that because not all of it will hit at certain points. Kura won't always be in block stun. So I feel like whenever you have the chance, call plea, the EX version, use it to confuse your opponent, use it to get in because it's a very strong neutral tool, and try and find a way to mix them up. Alright, so Ming-Hua. If you have Ming-Hua as your main assist, she does 3 hits. Right, like I said before, it's all about conditioning with Zaheer when it comes to calling your assist, because if you don't, condition your opponent, right, they're just going to press. So let's say we've conditioned Kura now, we did something like this, right, we did 158 into a throw, Kura doesn't want to press anymore, now we call Ming-Hua, right, we start doing stuff like this. Once you call Ming-Hua, I feel like it's up to you. You know, what you can do is basically endless with her. It just depends on what you like and how you like to condition your opponent in different ways. So you can roll, you can maybe like, because I was thinking maybe you could like roll into the fly and then cross up, something like that. Something like that, you know what I mean? It just depends on like what you have in your imagination and how you're trying to mix your opponent up. So I feel like for Ming-Hua's assist on the ground, you generally have to try and condition your opponent. It can be good for a random call, like it will just push your opponent back and then maybe there's one to get in, you know what I mean? But it's mainly going to be used during your block strings. So you have to call her out at different times. Don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. There is a gap and they can punish. There's no clean, like, you know, true block strings with all this stuff. There's always a gap. Air assist, very good neutral tool, like I said before. You know, this covers a very good angle, not the fastest, and obviously I'm sure they can just dash block, you know, away from this kind of assist, but in the corner is where it shines, in my opinion. Let's say you're around here, what are they going to do? That's just like, that's such a good assist. Maybe you do your 4F into Ming-Hua and then you're back in. You know what I mean? So I feel like you just need to play with it. The EX, however, let's get Kura to forward tech. Right, you can see no matter where Kura is, it's going to follow up. Now it does take some start up, it does take some time to start up, but I feel like if it comes to just being in neutral and you're around here, let's get to block, and you just call Ming-Hua, then Kura is going to have to look out for that. Once Ming-Hua's gone, once she disappears, then Kura has to deal with that. That's your time to get in. You know what I mean? Use the fact that once Ming-Hua disappears, that's when you need to start making moves. Right? I haven't thought of all the neutral patterns and how I'm trying to structure the neutral these assists, but you kind of get the gist of this one. Last but not least, Ghazan. Ghazan's assist is a real lockdown assist, right? I feel like once the startup is done. Last but not least, Ghazan. Now Ghazan's assist is really good. It does chip to your flow and your health. It locks you down. And like I said, similar to Ming-Hua, all you have to do, think how you're going to mix up your opponent with this one. Like literally the possibilities are endless. Right, I haven't really labbed mix-ups yet. You already know I like the mix, so I'm definitely going to find some stuff. But honestly, what can't you do with this assist? You know what I mean? You could throw your opponent just as the assist about to start up. If you time it properly in the corner, you get a combo. Right? It's just about you thinking how you want to use the assist. Like once you've locked them down, then you can literally just start everything. Like I feel like this is the best conditioning tool that Zaheer has. Use this to figure out how you want to condition your opponent and how your opponent plays. Ghazan's assist in the air is very good for catching jumpers. Right, I feel like you can just use it to stop your opponent from jumping and keep them on the ground, which is where his EX assist shines.
Front-loading. No more. Send.
Right, honestly, what can't you do with an assist like that? Once you get them in a string and you call this assist, then it's really just up to you how you want to mix up your opponent. There's gaps in it, which is good because it means you can just throw them at certain points. And then you can get a combo from it. Now there's a trick with Zaheer that you might not know when it comes to his flight. Right, normally you just fly by pressing flow in the air, then press flow again to unfly, fly, unfly. But if you do flight and press his throw button, you can see Zaheer lands to the ground much faster than if you were just to do fly and unfly. This could be good for certain mix-ups. Let's say you want to do a double overhead, right? Let's say they block that double overhead now. You just quickly press your flow button into the throw like I showed you before. This time you might go for the throw afterwards. You might go for the low. Might stay with the double overhead. It just depends on what you want to do. So it's a very good way to trick your opponent, as once you're in this state, they don't know if you're going to go for it again. They don't know if you're going to cancel it. Right? You can be very unpredictable once you're in flight if you use this button to cancel, because they don't know if you're going to cancel back into another flight again, whether you're just going to unfly back, call an assist, whatever it is. It adds another layer to Zaheer. On top of all of this, this allows Zaheer to go to the ground quickly during combos to get extensions. That's it for the Zaheer video, guys. I feel like this is a technical character that's going to be very rewarding once you master him. Like I said, I'm going to play this character alongside Ozai. It's my favorite character from Korra. So there's a lot to learn with Zaheer. Like I said, we're going to go into the block strings, the pressure, the mix-ups, everything. The neutral with different assists. You just got to give me some time so I can figure him out. As always, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.